Hello Oxford parents and students, my name is River Tuck and welcome to Schooling Around right here on OCTV. This edition of Schooling Around I have the pleasure of presenting two fine young Oxford scholars who have both been recognized for their amazing talent. This episode we talk to both of them and find out more about their experiences as well as how other Oxford students can follow in their footsteps. If this is your first time catching an episode of Schooling Around, then firstly I should welcome you and thank you for tuning in. I should also let you know that this is a half-hour program right here on Oxford Community Television, all about what is going on in the schools in our Oxford area. That includes stories of all varieties centralized on our students and parents who do so much to better the community and build the future. Now that we're all up to speed, how about we jump into the first interview with none other than Alex VanHaren, founder of Scarves for Cozy Kids and an Oxford Middle School 8th grader. Alex and I sat down on his couch to discuss the relatively long history of his charity and all of the hard-to-imagine statistics of how well he has done so far. Hello everyone, I'm here with Alex VanHaren, winner of the 2020 Prudential Spirit of Community Award. Alex, I would say welcome, but I'm in your home, so I guess that would be the wrong way around. Alex, let's start off from the beginning. You started this charity in
2015,
and since then you have gone a long way. I've read the story, but for everyone at home who doesn't know it, how did this all start?
This started when I was in 3rd grade. I believe I came up with the idea. There was kids out on the playground during wintertime that did not have the proper clothing, and I felt really bad, so that day I went home, told my mom we need to learn to knit. She laughed. I told her why, and then we started.
Alex's incredible story started on the playground in 2015, but at home it was the encouragement of his mother along with some handy YouTube tutorials that really got the ball rolling. Yes, and I heard that you started learning how to knit from a YouTube video?
Yeah.
That's amazing that one, our students are getting involved in charity, and two, that they're using their modern outlets to get information and do better for the community, so that's great. I love to hear that. What was that like learning with your mom through YouTube how to knit? Was it difficult?
I'd say, yeah, it was difficult in the beginning, but once you got it down for the start, it was pretty easy.
What's more incredible is Alex's knack for branching out through his charity. He's recruited other members of the community to help in the effort through word of mouth and the very active Scarves for Cozy Kids Facebook page.
Yes.
How easy or how hard is it sometimes to recruit people to come knit?
It's normally pretty easy. It's just trying to find people who just want to help out.
Yeah, have a little bit of extra free time. Do your friends come and help out knit?
No, not normally.
Yeah.
We have people down in Independence. We have a little small group in there.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Great.
They love to knit.
Okay. And I bet on your Facebook group is probably where we would see all the different thank yous that go out to them. Next up, I asked Alex to lay down the numbers for me, but I was not prepared for him to pull out an incredible 6-page summary of all of his charity work. Alex, if you want to start out with the numbers, I know in 2019 you did some crazy amounts of donations.
Yes, 2019. Here, let me grab this.
Yeah, no worries. He has so many numbers that he has to have an actual organized list of all the donations that he's made, and it is crazy how much.
So 2019, we've from 2019 to date, we've given over 6,250 hats, gloves, and scarves to children in need in 22 local schools.
Wow. And
then we have a bunch of monthly charities that we help support, and we have a few annual ones, like the Lions Club, eyeglasses for the Lions Club, and soda pop tops for the Ronald McDonald House. And
for the soda pop tops, you've done some crazy numbers on that too. Over 40 pounds of soda pop tops, 400 pairs of glasses, over 400 pairs of glasses, building materials that went to Habitat for Humanity. You had blankets and towels that got donated to the Canine Center, which is one that's close to me. I volunteer at the Canine, actually. I have it on right now, got my Canine hoodie on. If you have caught the show before, then you'll know that I have spent the last few months in and out of our local Oxford charities. During that time, my absolute favorite thing to see and capture when I was on the job was Oxford students working at those charities. Actually, didn't meet you, but saw you once before at the local Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry.
Yes.
Just last month when you guys were making your drop-offs, and I was in there getting some footage and volunteering myself there for part of our Year of the Volunteer. Alex has received a lot of support for what he's doing, including joining Oxford teachers in being heard nationally. People reached out to you to help?
Yeah, actually, one of our first years, I think it was, 2 or 3 years ago, that we had someone from California reach out.
Oh, yeah?
Not California. No. Chicago. Right?
Okay.
We had someone from Chicago reach out, but we are only Oxford-wide and just outside of Oxford right now. That's
crazy. And actually, Oxford tends to have a pretty big reach, which is surprising to me and also great because we are so charitably involved, especially in our school district. And we have a hugely wide reach. When we had some teachers from the middle school who were on the roof just last month, they were live streaming that, of course, which if you've been staying in to any of your school news here on OCTV, then you would know that they were on there live streaming, and they were live streaming to people all across the world. And I think, I don't have the numbers for this year, but a ton of different countries. So Oxford, just like with you, Alex, continues to have a great reach. Next, I had to ask a hard question that was on my mind. Where did Alex see the most need out of the many charities that he is involved with? And in perfect Alex fashion, Alex reflected on the dwindling numbers of his own charity positively. The biggest need is right now?
The biggest need right now, the numbers for the main charity, the one that I made, are dwindling, actually. Because everyone's giving them to their family, or they just don't really need them anymore. But I'd say it's probably one of the annual or monthlies.
The thing about it is the dwindling amount of scarves for kids that you've been doing in Oxford, but that has expanded a lot, right? Because you've over time, as the charities have grown and you've gone to over 20 different schools, this has expanded to a lot of different schools. What are some of the other schools?
Some of the other schools are North Branch and Brandon. We have a few in Pontiac. I think one in Rochester.
Yeah, so a lot of different schools that are being helped out through this. Over the course of our talks, more and more links connected between memories of my own childhood and the different charities that Alex is involved in. He's donated tremendous amounts to just about every major collection charity you can think of here in Michigan, so no wonder he would have one close to home.
Like Ronald McDonald House, which uses those pop tabs to help families get hotel rooms if they can't afford them while their children are in the hospital.
Yeah, that's important. That is a charity that has been going on for a very long time. That one goes way back for me and my family. We have been collecting pop tabs. That is a very old memory, very nostalgic memory for me, because my grandma used to make us collect all of our pop tabs whenever we were at her house. So that is a really old memory. Glad to hear that that's still going. I'll have to throw a long scrolling list up on the screen at some point so you all can see the incredible numbers that, frankly, Alex and I couldn't get to because of just how many there are. One that stuck out to me was the continued efforts Alex has made to keep local police departments stocked with coats, bags of hats, and scarves. So far, he's partnered up with the Oakland County Police Department, the Sterling Heights Police Department, as well as our own Oxford Police Department. So yeah, like I said, tons of different charities. He's already listed a couple: Scarves for Cozy Kids, Lions Clubs, Ronald McDonald House, Good Samaritans, Grace Centers of Hope, Oxford Orion Fish, Habitat for Humanity, Oakland County Police Department, which you've donated coats to. You've donated, oh wow, you've donated a lot to the police department, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
We also have Sterling Heights PD.
Okay, yep, Sterling Heights PD, so spreading out all over. Yeah. Great. Okay, and then we've talked about some of your numbers to date: more than 22 schools, 20 charities. A lot of different stuff that you've been working on, and Alex and I got so caught up talking about all of the charity work that we almost forgot to talk about the whole reason I was there. On top of Alex's outstanding work, of course, comes some recognition. And what better than recognition in the form of the 2020 Prudential Spirit Award. Now I just want to talk about the most recent news, the 2020 Prudential Spirit of the Community Award.
Oh.
What does that feel like to you to be honored like that? If the people don't know, you're one of two. You're one of two who were picked for Michigan.
I was the one who was picked for middle school. There was one other for high school, and we are 2 out of 102 people going to Washington, D.C. to get honored and hopefully be chosen for the 10 who are getting gold.
Yeah.
I generally did not expect that because I had been a distinguished finalist last year. Did not think I would go up
in the rankings to get official. So you'll be heading in, I'm sorry, is it May or March you'll be heading?
May 2nd, I believe.
May 2nd? Confirmation? May 2nd? May 2nd.
Yeah.
So May 2nd, and we have Mom just out of camera. May 2nd, you'll be heading to the Capitol, which is outstanding. That's crazy. A lot of students will compete for a lot of different things, and you've done it. And this wasn't even so much of a competition for you. As you've said, this started naturally, organically in school. And now I think it is very just that you're getting at least a little bit of recognition in the form of this award. Are you excited to go to the Capitol?
Yes, I'm very excited.
You're also going to be receiving a little bit of a scholarship for that, which is great. These are just well-earned things that come to students who are able to give back to charities. Just a fun question looking down the road. What are you looking to get into as a career?
I'm hoping to get into software development or IT.
Oh, great. And then, of course, continue your charity all the way through that and bring that into the real world. And I think that's one of the important things for people to remember with these charities, that they can start with anyone. You don't have to be in a public role. You don't have to be someone who's out in the spotlight all of the time. You just have to be a middle schooler or elementary school kid who wants to make a difference and sees the need. And that's what it is. Alex, do you have any last words for everyone at home? Anything that you want to tell people to get them to check out?
Nothing that comes to mind.
All right, well, I'll give you a couple. Check out his Facebook, Scarves for Cozy Kids. You're going to do that for sure. You're going to check out that Facebook. You're going to check out OCTV on Facebook as well, which will have all of the latest school news and schooling around up with all of our different charities. I'm sure I'll be covering more and more charities that overlap with Alex in the future. And hey, maybe I'll run into Alex at one of the charities. I've already done it once, just didn't have my camera in the right place. But yeah, thank you for speaking with me, Alex. It was great.
You're welcome.
I know all of Oxford is cheering on Alex as he gets ready to visit the Capitol in May. I know I am ecstatic to see where he takes this. But as with every charitable cause, Scarves for Cozy Kids and all of Alex's collections for charities cannot stay strong without our help. Alex and his mother have done the hard work setting up this phenomenal charity and continue to run it at the highest quality. Now it's our turn to chip in. I'll make it really simple today and only give one, maybe two links to check out. Firstly, I want you to visit the Scarves for Cozy Kids Facebook page. This is going to be your home page for everything Scarves for Cozy Kids. It is updated every time something new is going on with Alex, featuring videos from Alex himself, often being him thanking all of his many supporters. Updates on all of the awards Alex is honored with and the numbers that back them, and all of the information one may need to get involved with Scarves for Cozy Kids today. As a bonus, the Facebook page goes back a few years into Alex's story so you can see it all from the start. Now, if you want to help right now with a cash donation, all of which goes towards buying more knitting supplies, then I want you to visit the Scarves for Cozy Kids GoFundMe page. This link on screen will help you find your way to the GoFundMe page where you can help out in a more flexible way. Of course, if you are able, I implore you to help out Alex by volunteering time to knit, be a drop-off card for donations, or get involved in any of the other charities Alex works with. And as I said earlier, the best place for you to get in contact with Alex and his mom is the Scarves for Cozy Kids Facebook page. So go give it a like and a follow right now. Thank you for lending me your time to hear about Alex and all of the outstanding work he has done, and I invite you to stick around for our next celebratory story, this time with a Lego twist. There's no doubt our Oxford students have talent, and some very diverse talent at that. From our incredible musical arts to our robotics and engineering teams, our students do it all, and in style. Blake Myers, an OES 5th grader, was all style when he came into this studio very recently. Boasting a proud new title, we met up to talk about the mind-blowing competition Blake absolutely crushed and to learn just a little bit more about Legos, including how other Oxford students just like Blake can follow in his footsteps. See you after the clip. Welcome everyone. Thank you for staying tuned to Schooling Around and School News. I'm here with Blake Myers. Blake is our newest Lego Mini Master Model Builder. It's a tongue twister, I'm sure. But Blake, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Blake, how about you tell everyone a little bit about yourself? How old are you, for starters?
I am 10 years old.
10 years old.
And I go to Oxford Elementary School.
Oxford Elementary School, and what grade are you in?
And I am in 5th grade.
Okay, so looking at the middle school soon. That's exciting. So, Blake, you have this amazing trophy with you. Why don't you go ahead and hold it up for everyone? Yeah. And we're gonna tell everyone exactly how you got that in a second. But let's start at the beginning, Blake. Blake, when did you first start playing with Legos? Probably pretty young. You don't need to know exactly when, but
probably when when I was 5.
Yeah, probably really, really young. Can you remember one of the first things that you ever built with Legos?
When I think when I was 6, I got this big set that was like a castle with a dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and from there, you've learned a lot more about Legos since then. It's kind of complicated, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a lot of architecture and structure and stuff. So you learned about the Lego competition to win and become the mini master model builder. But before you got to that competition, did you practice at all?
Sort of.
Yeah, and you knew ahead of time that the competition, or at least the first theme or prompt of the competition, was going to be animals. So what animal did you choose to make?
A llama.
A llama. And for everyone out there, why did you choose to make a llama? It might be obvious to some of the younger people, but why did you choose to make a llama?
I made a llama because we have a alpaca farm by our house, and also because there's a llama in Fortnite.
Yeah, and why not? That's awesome. And right about now, you guys should see coming up on the screen an awesome image of that alpaca / llama, and he did an outstanding job on it. And actually, you'll probably see coming up on the screen right now a little bit of footage from just the start of the competition. Now, Blake, you were in competing with a ton of other kids, about 50 other kids, right?
60.
60 other kids, and they were split into different groups, and from what I hear from mom and dad, the competition was ran really well. So if it's something that parents at home would like to look into for their own kids in the future, you should do so. But you were competing against 60 other kids, and they ended up with 10 finalists after the first round. But to get back to the first round, you started off really quick on the llama. What was your game plan when they said go? What was the first thing you wanted to get done?
So what I did is I like in the first 5 seconds was looking at what I had to work with, and then decided a shape. And then I started to make one, and then kind of use that as a utensil, and like made 4 or 3 more.
Yeah, and that llama, from what I saw, was pretty big. I wasn't there, so I didn't see all of them. Would you say that you built the biggest animal out of everyone else?
Yes.
Yeah,
It was around a foot tall.
It was around a foot tall.
With it on its stands.
and compared to this, it was a lot bigger, right?
Maybe like.
Yeah, because it had the ears and the mouth, and you went into a lot of detail. Now, when you won that round of it, did anyone from the competition, anyone who's running the competition, compliment you on it or tell you what you did so well?
Yes, because many of them complimented me about the speed of how fast I was building.
And like that really nice detail, right?
Yes.
What I personally liked so much was the negative space you used to make the tongue and the inside of the mouth. That looked really awesome. And if you know anything about Legos and you're seeing the images up on screen, you know how impressive this is for such a young age. So Blake, then you go to the second competition with 10 other finalists. This one was timed, or the other one was timed as well, but less time this time, and you had a different prompt that you didn't know ahead of time. What was the competition the second time?
It was making your favorite character or
Superhero.
Superhero.
Yeah, whoever your favorite character was. They gave you leeway. And what did you decide to make?
I decided to make a 3D Iron Man helmet.
And how long did that take you?
Well, it took me took me the whole time.
The whole time?
The first minute I was struggling to figure out what I was gonna make, and the last 14 minutes was me just trying to build this faster.
Okay, so you had that where the llama, you kind of knew ahead of time the game plan. The other time you had to think for a second, for a minute, and then you got going?
And I was having to go extra fast because the llama was 3D, but this was much more sophisticated.
Detailed, yeah. So you thought that you really had to take it up a notch for the second round to bring it home. And for anyone at home, might not be able to see the Iron Man. What did it look like, and what were you complimented on by the judges?
So the Iron Man helmet looked it was like 3/4 the size of this trophy, and it was pretty cool. And they complimented me about how, it wasn't as fast this time, but it was very detailed in
Yeah,
3D.
so the first time you showed off your speed and the second time you showed off your detail, I mean, you kind of showed them the whole thing if you think of it like an interview for a job. So Blake, you won. How did that feel? It felt amazing?
It felt amazing.
Yeah, and out of all those kids, you got selected to be the new Mini Master Model Builder. Such a tongue twister. I had to practice in the mirror so many times just to be able to say that so quickly. What are your plans going forward? You obviously have a lot open to you now as a Mini Master Model Builder. I know that there's a bunch of different perks with it, one of them being that you are gonna study/train, aid, help the Master Model Builder in building his models. Do you look forward to that?
Yes, I'm very excited, and I will probably learn some new techniques for my own building.
Yeah, and if anyone at home isn't familiar, our Master Model Builder is a man named Clint who is constantly in the news because he's just really all of the Lego group, especially at Great Lakes Crossing, where you went to compete, are really proactive in the community and do these events for the students. So you're going to have a lot going forward. You're probably going to start having a busier schedule. You're going to go into middle school and you're going to have to be a Mini Master Model Builder at the same time. Yeah, very busy. So for anyone at home who parents maybe get their kids to do it or kids want to do it and get their parents to take them, what advice would you give to any kids who go and do the competition themselves?
One piece of advice is that, at least from my experience, most of them were building like stick figures /2D like builds, and you should definitely go for a 3D route. Mm-hmm. And also, if like you took like the first half of the time planning, I wouldn't recommend like building something as big as like my llama was, because the llama had a lot of speed. Yeah. So you should definitely do 3D and also try to go fast, but don't go too fast because you might accidentally break the build.
I think that's a lot of great advice, obviously, for Legos and for this competition specifically, but that's some really great advice for working in architecture or really working in any job, or probably life in general if you wanted to take it metaphorically. So you can see right now that our scholars in Oxford are so bright, outwinning awards all of the time. And Blake, I'd just like to thank you again for coming out to speak with me, and I cannot wait to see what you do in the future. Let's have you hold that trophy up one more time. That's awesome. Yeah, there it is. All right, thank you, Blake. Back to the desk. There you go. All right. You're back. I hope you had as much fun listening to Blake's enthusiasm for what he loves as I did. I also hope Blake inspired some of the audience to follow in his footsteps, not just building with Legos, but proving the power of creativity and hard work in any way. Fortunately for me, even as I film this scene, there are Oxford scholars out winning awards and accomplishing great things. For that reason, Schooling Around will remain your definitive source of all things Oxford schools. Tune in next time to see more of your Oxford schools and students right here on OCTV. As always, be sure to check out our YouTube and Facebook pages under Oxford Community Television. Those pages have all of our YouTube videos for you to go back and watch one after another after another. As always, I am River Tuck for your school news and schooling around content right here on OCTV. I thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, Oxford.